Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here this morning. Thanks very much all for coming. I'm sure you all had a great night last night, so it's particularly special. My name is Daniel Callaghan. I'm the CEO and founder of MBA Company. And essentially, we are a marketplace for high-end management or high-end independent professionals to deliver short-term project works. As you can see by the stage of the title, what we say is the end of work as we know it. And actually, we believe that our business model is based on the idea that the traditional contract or employee-employer relationship is approaching its end. It's an outdated, antiquated model. It will never disappear entirely, but actually, it's a far more efficient means of proceeding. The last decade, we have seen a significant rise of the independent professional. Currently, over 20 to 33% of American workforce is classed as an independent professional. Companies in America are spending, or companies globally, are actually spending $300 billion a year outsourcing on contingent labor. And now, 51% of businesses worldwide expect to spend more next year. This figure is also echoed in a recent report by McKinsey, which shows that actually it's 58% in their view of businesses that will be spending more on independent and contemporary labor. From the supply side of the market, there's certainly enough to go around. Flexible working is no longer seen as a privilege, but in fact, it's a must. China, where actually temporary worker permits was only available from 2007, has already seen a tremendous rise in the number of workers from 20,000 to 125,000. And actually, even in the less liberal of markets, 65% of recent Chinese graduates believe that it is their right to choose when, how, and where they work. In another fast-growing, soon-to-be power, the Indian market, 22% of recent graduates choose that they would never work for a company that did not embrace flexible working practices. Overall, the global average believes it is 80% that the world must go to this way of being able to allow part-time, almost collaborative consumption of employees' time amongst projects and jobs. Why wouldn't companies embrace this? Imagine the ability to take exactly the talent that you want when you want it, to pay only for the hours that you need and nothing more. The cost savings alone, just on a like-for-like basis, are phenomenal. Right? The average employee utilization is recently reported at around 70%. You add that with national insurance, holidays, sick time, and obviously a bit of Facebook around here and there, then that's a huge potential saving. Regis, the global workspace provider, recently interviewed 16,000 executives and found that actually over 50% of their desk space is being inefficiently used. You're paying for space in your desk, electricity and equipment, that is just sipping away your fixed cost base. Furthermore, by the time that you've actually committed to a full-time team of actually having full-time employees, you immediately become less responsive to the market, less agile, less better equipped, and less skilled. You're now constrained to the ability only to have the task done by the generalists within your team, rather than having a hyper-specialized expert deliver the exact piece of work that you need in a faster and better quality fashion. Now, the proliferation of online marketplaces, or the proliferation of independent work, has certainly been fueled by the ever-growing presence of online work marketplaces. However, actually what we see is that these are traditionally done at a basic, low-skill level. And that's certainly not meant in any sense of a derogatory word. However, the types of the projects that are completed through there are largely SEO, logo, copywriting design, with an hourly wage of $10 per hour, an average project value of $4,000 an hour. Now, Odesk.com, since 2003, has shown exponential growth, with $44 million of funding as well, which always helps. It's now reached over 200,000 hours of work per week being transacted through the site. Odesk, Elance, which make up about 70% of the actual freelance marketplaces online, have seen over $2 billion of work transacted through them in the last decade. But what if, at the other end of the spectrum, you have traditional management consultancies? For if you have a high complex, highly difficult task that you could go to and have them tackle the additional resource. But what if you're a VC-backed company who wants a requirement and needs a much more flexible labor force? What if you have a short-term project that just you have the data and you need 2 weeks of an engagement manager's time? Do you think McKinsey or BCG will give you that guy? If it's not a £500,000 a month project, I doubt they'd be very interested. The ability to access that kind of talent is currently served inefficiently. It's internal networks, it's expensive agencies, but it's substantial. Globally, we calculate it to be about $30 billion a year annually. It might sound a lot, but the UK interim market alone is at £1.5 billion, and is actually growing 20% year on year. As such, in January 2011, we launched MBA Company. As the name alludes to, most people on there have an MBA, but actually it's a global network of professionals with at least 5 years experience and a postgraduate degree from one of the world's top 50 business schools. It could be an MBA, a PhD, or whatever. But it has to be that unique blend of commercial and academic excellence to be able to deliver the work wherever they might be. And we think that actually as a marketplace, given the breadth of the skills, we're able to cater for a wide berth of work. Obviously, we don't tackle the full-scale, large implementational projects that you would get with a traditional management consultancy, but all of those requirements where you have a specific need for expertise in an ad hoc basis, in a quick demand fashion, it can easily be served through MBA Company. So, one definition of the model is it's almost an eBay meets McKinsey. Companies post a project on there. They will then receive specialized bids from specifically matched consultants worldwide. Since January 2011, we've had over 16,000 consultants register in 132 markets. There's about 1,000 a month registering, but actually 35% get rejected unscreened. All of the consultants are screened to ensure that they meet the minimum requirements of standard and maintain the integrity of the database. The service tries to tackle some of the traditional inefficiencies or problems actually with the black box Odesk automated model. Every project is account managed. We are able to provide an immediate response from 2 hours, from turning a project around within 2 hours, to a couple of days. At the end of every project, a consultant is rated, hence the eBay analogy, and if a consultant receives 3.5 out of 5 or below, they're removed from the platform. So far to date, we've done millions of pounds of work in over 50 countries and 40 industries. We are a high quality, whereas SMEs or Odesk will traditionally service the SME or entrepreneurial client who is looking to find a much cheaper solution. The people who are traditionally using MBA Company are value seekers. They don't want the 5 times charge markup on a traditional consultancy, and they just want the brainpower that they need for the moment. Actually, if you look at it, over 50% of our companies are large corporates, and actually many of the world's leading management consultancies are our clients themselves, as they resell as they resell the labor on the marketplace, because they understand the value of it. PE funds often use it for commercial due diligence, or helping their portfolio companies as well to grow in a much more cost-effective fashion. 70% of the projects are around market research, market assessment, and strategic planning. Again, a stark contrast to the SEO, pay-per-click, copywriting types of projects traditionally found in the existing marketplace. Our average project value is £16,000, or roughly $22,000, as opposed to the £4,000. And actually, on average, clients use us about 3 times a year, with over 80% of our customers being repeat customers. Over 98% of all projects have been rated 4 stars and above. What we actually believe is that this is the beginning of a fundamental shift within two parts of the industry. Firstly, companies will start being much more just-in-time based in hiring. They'll move away from their silos and actually start working on a virtual remote basis. Secondly, in management consultancy, we'll see a stronger shift towards value-based, time and materials-based pricing, as the specialization of much larger projects rather than actually a lot of the smaller work that they do, and actually all the automation of certain projects themselves. So finally, I'd like to say the next time you have a piece of work to do that you don't have the time to deliver, you don't have the in-house bandwidth or the expertise, rather than perhaps put it on the back burner, please go to mbaandco.com and you can post it for free, and you'll be able to start seeing what a solution looks like. Thank you very much.